Greetings everyone, welcome to Nerd Scrolls. Today I'd just like to have a talk on my thoughts on the recent Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen PC port. I wrote down a list of pros and cons just to make sure that I didn't lose my train of thought while saying what I needed to say. So let's just get straight into it. So with my pros, for number one, I'm not sure if this was just with my copy or with my TV settings, but when I was playing on the 360, it did have a letterbox view. I'm not sure if that was with everyone else's gameplay. I might have to look that up later, but my game actually had letterbox view, and that got quite irritating because I had a decent sized TV and it just kind of squashed it down, which made it harder to see when I was just lying in bed playing. So they got rid of that for the PC one, and it looks a lot better without the letterbox view. I'm just trying to imagine what it'd be like with the letterbox view, and I kind of think it would ruin the experience. So I'm glad they got rid of that, if that was just an issue with mine or if that was just my TV issue, but I'm glad that's not in this one. Secondly, the frame rate lock has been removed. I'm not sure what it was locked to on the 360 and PS3, but there was a lock, but they removed that for the PC, and it shows because it runs so much smoother. Like on the 360, if a dragon breathed fire and did like one of his explosive magic spells, it would the frame rate would kind of slow down, almost like the Just Cause 3 on the Xbox One or PS4, how the frame rate drops every time action happens, which is a major complaint of mine. I might do my thoughts on a video about that later. But they got rid of that for the PC, and it's very good, very good. See, I'm already losing my train of thought. It just works. It works, especially with the higher manufactured PCs that can run everything on like 60 frames per second on ultra settings. And I've actually seen some gameplay on YouTube of Dragon's Dogma on its maximum settings running at 60 frames per second, and it looks beautiful, especially with some of the EMBs that modders have already made. And that's my other thing, mods. Yeah, there's some weird ones, like I think there's one on Nexus that you can get nude mods, and obviously that was going to happen, but the EMBs that have been made for are absolutely amazing. Like, you've got ones that make it look like it was literally just made from scratch this year, whereas it's just a PC port with just advancements done to it. But the EMBs are absolutely amazing, so that's another good thing. The quality, it allows you to actually edit just like any standard PC game, you can put it on like low settings, high settings, but that was really needed, because if you have a PC that can't run it on a high, then you can just lower it. So instead of having to go through at a sluggish pace, you've got the ability to turn down. Yeah, it might not look the best, but it still runs, and as long as the game runs good, then I think you've got a decent game to play. Whereas if you're forced to play it like when the frame rate drops, then you're not going to enjoy it. You're just gonna hate the game. You're gonna have a negative view on it. Where that's good, especially for me when I'm recording, since my PC can't handle to record it at high settings, since there's my graphics card actually using more power than my power supply can actually provide. So it does struggle to record at high settings, but I can just turn it down to medium or low if needed. It won't look the best, but it means I can get footage for it, like I should be doing now. If I do choose to use footage that I've recorded, I might just borrow some other people's, just put the links in the description. But if I am doing it now, then I've probably put it on medium or low just to record it properly, because I tried doing it on high and the CPU was just kind of freaking out, as my OBS was just literally saying like warning CPU something struggling. So that's a good thing that you can change the video quality. My final thing for pros, the controls work surprisingly well. I was a bit worried because you've got on the 360 press like LT and you can use those like Y, X and B, and you can press RT and use Y, X and B. I was worried how they were going to try and do it, like if your fingers are going to be like tangled over each other while you're trying to do it. But it worked very well, as you've got control to use your primary skills and alt to do your secondary skills, and like attack, light attack and heavy attack are mapped to the left and right mouse button, and it works actually really well. Especially one of my favourites is if you're a strider, a ranger, or assassin, as you use bows, and aiming is well, it's not perfect, but it is almost perfect. That might just be my opinion, but aiming with the mouse when you're using a bow is so good that it's like if you play like Call of Duty on the PC or something, it just works a lot better than it does on the Xbox or the PS4 or PS3. Anyway, on to my cons. This is obviously some things that have come straight from the 360 or PS3. Lip syncing is still terrible. It's almost non-existent, as so many points, like, I think I'll put a spoiler warning on this. When you meet Gringor, I think his name's Gringor, the main dragon, when he says his lines, oh, it's so terrible. Like, it's cool if they lip synced it like perfectly, or just had good lip syncing. It would give an atmosphere to the game that would be perfect, but it's just, you just can't ignore it. Like, when he says his lines, he'll continue talking, and then when any NPC talks to you, you've almost got to like click through it or read it without looking at their face, otherwise you're just going to keep getting reminded of it, and it's quite irritating. The AI still has some issues, not as bad as it did, but like the AI will still do stupid things, or just generally do stupid things. But otherwise, that's it. That's I only had 2 cons and like 5 or 6 pros. But it is a really good port, and it's cheap, £23 or £24 on Steam. It's really good. I didn't pre-order it, but I did buy it, like, I think 2 days after it came out for the PC. But I remember buying it for the 360, and I was in love with the game. Like, I was playing it all summer, and I just really enjoyed it. I just like the idea of, instead of facing a Cyclops, or like in Skyrim when you face a dragon, the dragon seemed really weak because you're there just hacking and slashing at it. When you face a dragon in like Dragon's Dogma, it takes you so long, and like you've got like jumping on him, and you've got everything like that, and it just, I like the system. I like the game concept. I can't wait till they do a sequel, if they do a sequel, and apparently there is an online version in the works, which I'm not sure if it's free to play or if you're going to buy it, but if it's free to play or if it's paid, I will obviously buy it, and I will look forward to actually playing with, like, I don't know, subscribers or just friends, or just meeting new people playing Dragon's Dogma, as I can just imagine it all being multiplayer, and it will work so well, especially when you're pawned to kind of do stupid things. But that's my thoughts on Dragon's Dogma PC port. If you like this, leave a like, subscribe, and comment if you have any other things you think I should cover, or any other subjects you want to bring to my attention. I might do a thoughts on video. But subscribe for more nerdy content, and I will see all of you in the next video. Farewell.